Hello everyone, it's been quite a while since I've done a video. Reasons being time. That's whenever I don't have a lot of time sometimes to do videos. Two, I haven't been able to buy any comics for like the past 3 months due to unforeseen circumstances. Though the problem really did start around summer because I was just getting half my books from I actually buy books in two different shops, so I only got like half from the large shop that I go to that's very nearby. The small shop that I go to, the very first shop I've ever gone to, where I bought my comics for the since like 2000. They were having problems with their shipments. Their books weren't arriving, and that went for about 2 months, 3 months that their books were behind. Sometimes some books showed up, but not all of them. So I was only getting a half of that. Again, time wasn't on my side to make videos on all of them, so I missed a bunch of Action Comics, Supergirl, Superman, Green Arrow, um, that I got from them. Um, in fact, I actually bought a newsstand version of an issue of Superman, which I missed because it never arrived at the shop, and that was like a lucky find last year. Um, so I've been like not buying books for 3 months. I did want to spend some of that time without any new books to sort of deal with other things that I wanted to do that I've never really gotten to in the videos, which some of them go like way back, which I've talked about like on videos before that, but I never really got into them. So I might actually do some of that. By the way, that noise, that's my dog coughing. She's a little bit sick. She's old as well. She's like 18 years old now, 18 and a half. So anyways, I might actually do some of that. In fact, I just gotten into buying books again. A few issues. I'm actually trying to save some money. So I'm kind of buying an issue or two a week. That's maybe the plan. Not every week. I was trying to catch up on some of the books that I haven't got that I need to catch up on. I'm actually going to buy new books, but really or the latest issues, based on if they are starting an arc rather than just picking up random issues. And maybe one of those issues are of an ongoing story arc, so I might just jump in to like a new story arc and then slowly catch up on the previous issues as well. So anyways, I've been buying books around the past 2 weeks actually. So this is some of the stuff I got. Out of the new books that I've got, I actually picked up Supergirl issue number 18. I actually bought, before this one came out, I actually bought to catch up on issues, which is 15, 16. I'm sorry for the glare, and of course the issue before that, issue 17, which was still at the shop when I bought this like 3 weeks ago, and of course I got issue 18, so that actually completes a full arc. I'm still missing issue 14. I actually missed issue 12 and the annual, because again, my shop wasn't getting those books, and the larger shop, it actually sold out, so I never really saw issue 12 when it came out. I actually got 13. That was in September, soon after the earthquake that hit us really hard last year. We actually had one yesterday, Friday. Actually, we got two of them. 7.2, which was the first one. The alarm actually sounded, and then we got a 5.9 around 10 minutes later, 5-10 minutes after the first one. In fact, my parents actually felt the building where we live in moving, and the alarm didn't sound, but some of the neighbors actually did feel it. But nothing serious, thankfully. I also got Superman number 40, which is the beginning of a new arc by James Robinson, actually. So it's okay. I actually got issue 37 of Green Arrow, but this is actually the conclusion of the ongoing arc. So it was kind of okay. And I actually got Elseworld issue number 4, which is the last issue I actually missed when I couldn't buy more comics. Actually got issues 1 through 3. Missed this one. I still need to catch up. Paper Girls, I need like 4 more issues, I believe. So those are the books, the new books I've got, including a few back issues. But yeah, so I think I'll do a review video later on, because there's a lot of stuff to get to. So one of the things I think people are wondering about, especially those of you who've watched my videos, have known me for a long time, I'm pretty much the Superman guy in the community. It feels that way because I'm a huge Superman fan. So we know that last year Brian Michael Bendis announced that DC announced that he was coming over, and just a few weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we learned that Bendis would be doing the Superman books, doing both action and Superman. So people were kind of wondering, I think a few people were wondering what my thoughts were. So Bendis, I actually like Bendis as a writer. I bought like every issue of the original, the volume 1 of Ultimate Spider-Man. I bought his Daredevil, which I thought was great, except for the Murdoch Papers arc, which was really written really weird. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what he does with Superman. I think a few people are kind of concerned as to the future of certain characters, particularly John, which I don't think anything is gonna change with Superman drastically. If you've read these interviews, he pretty much just wants to add to the Superman mythos, but not really change anything, because it's continuity and you really can't change much of that. So I don't think anything major is gonna happen to the status. Well, the status quo might change, but I don't think there's gonna be any major changes as to the family dynamic and everything that's been going on. I don't want to really speculate too much, so we'll see when Action Comics 1000 comes out with his first Superman story. And then of course there's the 6-issue weekly Man of Steel, which I think they should change the name, because John Byrne did Man of Steel as well. Also a 6 issue miniseries, which I believe at the time came out twice a month because it replaced the Action Comics and Superman in the schedule at the time. But anyway, so yeah, another origin story for Superman, which is to say, yeah, we got his retelling not too long ago as well of his origin, but it was like a really quick sort of origin story because it really just tried to cover the continuity between the New 52 and this sort of new merged version of Superman with the post-Infinite Crisis Superman, or the pre-Flashpoint Superman. So we've never really gotten to see too much of the new origin, which again, origins really don't change. What changes is what happens around that origin. I mean, Superman's origin, Krypton explodes, he's sent away by his parents, lands on Earth, and he's dead by the kids. That's his origin. That's Superman's origin. Grows up, becomes Superman. That's his origin. It's what happens around that changes. So I think a lot of that's gonna change. It might add stuff to the origin, but there's a few key moments that have not changed, that I don't think will change, because they're part of the continuity. It's part of what has been established for the rebirth of Superman. So I could be wrong. They could redo the whole thing, except for the basic stuff. The thing that goes around that origin might change. I don't know. I don't want to take wild guesses or speculate what's going to be done. I am curious to see what Bendis is going to do with Superman, and so I'll just have to wait like everybody else. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Bendis. I mean, of course, we know Bendis is more of a wordy guy. So I don't know how that style is going to fit into DC, because to me Bendis was to Marvel what Geoff Johns is to DC, which is, this guy was given this writer, Bendis was given this chance to write Ultimate Spider-Man, and after that he sort of shaped various franchises, the Avengers, and he did the X-Men, Daredevil. He did a lot of things that have carried on over throughout Marvel. So that's pretty much what Geoff Johns did to DC, starting with Infinite Crisis. He sort of shaped the DC universe through that miniseries for getting at it for the next few years before we got the New 52. He worked on the Flash, and he created a whole thing with the Flash as well, making him very popular. Again, a lot of the things that Geoff Johns did at DC can still be felt, even if things have changed. A lot of what Geoff Johns did sort of continues on with the current stuff. So a lot of what Bendis did, again, a lot of that stuff carried over, especially with the Ultimate Universe. Made it very popular, introduced new characters, new takes. So I'm definitely curious to see what he's going to do. But just a wait and see. So another thing I really wanted to talk about, which I will elaborate on a future video, is about the DC movies. Something that I've been thinking about since I saw the Justice League movie. I actually did want to do a video talking about that movie. But there's a few interesting things that I've seen in the DCU movies that I don't think I've seen at Marvel in the Marvel movies as much. But there's I would sort of tease by saying that the DC movies have been very Superman centric. Then people might actually notice. That's sort of like what tied those four movies. Now I'm not counting Wonder Woman because that was its own thing, but four movies were really tied around Superman. So I'm gonna end it here. I'll probably do a quick reviews, video reviewing some of the books that I've read, with more time, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff here and I'm running around almost 17 minutes. So I'll end this video as I always end it with, until next time, keep smiling.